Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be an update on all the products I've hit pan on in the last couple of months. I think I have 4 or 5 videos like this already, so I will link them in a playlist up in the cards. I think it's on this side. I try to do this update every quarter, every 3 months, and I feel like I'm always a little bit behind, so I think I'm going to change it to every 4 months instead, and that way I give myself an extra month to really try and hit pan on as many things as I can, so I have interesting updates to share with you. And this time around I have 9 new pans to share, and actually I think half of them are eyeshadows, which is very difficult for me to do. I don't hit pan on eyeshadows very easily. It's the reason why I started my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan, to really try to focus on certain shades and really challenge myself to hit pan on some more eyeshadows in my collection. So I'm just gonna get started. These are all new pans, and so if you're interested in seeing what I hit pan on in the past, that's what the playlist is for. I don't mention any products that I've hit pan on in the past that I've already talked about in these videos. The exception is if I repress something and then hit pan on it again, I count that as a new pan. So the very first product I'm going to talk about is from Tarte. It is the Mini Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Party. This was a Sephora birthday gift a while ago, and I had hit pan on it, repressed it, and I hit pan on it again. You can see the circle of the innermost ring, and I'm very excited. I know it looks like there's not a lot left in there, but I still feel like it's going to take me quite a while to finish this up. It is a pigmented enough blush that I don't have to use a lot, and it's just something that's really holding on. But it's a beautiful color, really nice neutral pink. Really enjoy it. There's a reason why this is a lot of people's favorite blush. The next product I want to talk about is from NYX. It's the NYX hashtag This Is Everything Lip Loving Balm. I think I talked about one of these in my last update as well. This is a new tin. I used up the old one and then hit pan on a new one, and I really like this a lot. I hope they don't ever get rid of this. I can only find it on the NYX website right now, so I usually buy a couple at a time. It's only $5. I am tracking to see how many uses it takes to finish this, so I can really have an idea of whether or not it is worth the $5, because I feel like I go through it pretty quickly, but I do use it multiple times a day. It's a really nice moisturizing, not too thick, not too thin and greasy, doesn't have any weird taste or scent to it, doesn't leave any tint. I know that it is red in the pan, but it's not actually red, it's just clear on your lips. And I really enjoy this. I will definitely repurchase again and again. I think it's fantastic, and like I said, I'll keep you posted once I finish it up how many uses it took to finish. The last non-eyeshadow I want to share with you today is from Wet n Wild. It's the Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Blossom Glow. I purchased this last summer and I love it. I think it's a gorgeous formula, really nice shade. There are plenty of shades within this line, so no matter what your skin tone is, you can find something that will work for you. Blossom Glow is really great for people with very fair skin. I don't know if you can see that up close, but it's right there in the center. But I do really enjoy this formula, and I am not surprised at all that I hit pan. Alright, now for eyeshadows, I have 3 different palettes for you to look at. The first one is the Tartlet in Bloom palette, and I have hit pan on the top 2 shades in the palette. I hit pan on Charmer, which is a really pretty cream shade, and on Jetsetter, which is more of a cool toned medium brown shade, really great as a transition color on my skin tone. I also use that in my eyebrows. The clear one I use to set my eyeshadow primer. I sometimes use it to further blend out if I overblend shadows a little bit too far out or I go a little bit too dark. I kind of dip a crease brush in there and kind of buff it out so it blends a little bit better. I have a couple more weddings this summer. I think I'm doing the makeup for the bride in one of them. I'm not sure how many people, but I will be using this palette to do it. It's just a really simple palette with everything I need. Has a lot of really good mixes of warm and cool tones. It smells like chocolate. Big fan. I'm sure you will see more pans on this palette in the future. The next one is from Modern Renaissance. I had already hit pan on 4 shades in this palette before. I had hit pan on Tempera, which is a cream shade, on Golden Ochre, which is a warmer mustard yellow type of shade, on Vermeer, which is a pinky champagne shimmery shade, and on Primavera, which is a golden shimmery shade. Since then, I've hit pan on Buon Fresco, which is a purpley cool toned color, Warm Taupe, which I don't think is warm. I use this in my eyebrows and I think it's more neutral than anything, maybe slightly cooler. And I also hit pan on Cyprus Umber, which is a dark brown, kind of like a chocolate brown. I'm very surprised I hit pan on Cyprus Umber. This was kind of a surprise pan because I don't use dark browns that often. I use it to kind of deepen up the crease or the outer third of the lid, but I don't use one of these kinds of shades consistently enough to hit pan. But I think because I was using those other shades so much, and because this formula is a little bit softer, it's a little bit easier to hit pan on the Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows in these types of palettes, in my opinion, at least for the Modern Renaissance. I don't know anything about the other palettes. So I've hit pan on officially half of the shades in this palette, which is really, really exciting. I still like this palette a lot. I've had it for over 2 years now, and I still think the formula is doing nicely. I know a lot of people, once it hits that 6-month mark, the formula kind of changes, the pigmentation changes. I haven't noticed anything like that yet, so I will continue to use it, and hopefully I'll have more pans from this palette to share with you in my next update. And the very last one was the Ultimate Surprise Pan. I did not realize how shallow the pans were in these pans. It's from the Stila Eyes Are the Window Soul Palette, and I had pan on this corner shade here. It's called Light, and it is just a light matte cream shade. I use this once again the same way I use the cream shade from the Tartlet in Bloom palette. I think the reason I hit pan on it so quickly is because I pulled this back out, but it's a palette that I use fairly often. I travel with it a lot. I always pull it out. It's an old favorite of mine. It's one of the oldest palettes that I own. I think I had already used it quite a lot beforehand, and that's the reason why I hit pan so soon. But if I look at the actual thickness of the pan, it doesn't seem to be that thick. So I have some other shades in here that I've used quite a bit, like this shade right here, Heart and Individual. Those are two really nice cool toned and warm toned crease shades. I use those all the time. So there are a couple shades in here that I feel like if I use them consistently, like I did with this shade here, I could hit pan on it pretty easily. This shade right here, Vitality, it's a gold. That is currently in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and that one has a pretty big dent in it too. So that one will probably also be one that I talk about in my next update as well. So those are the 9 products that I hit pan on. I'm very excited to still be hitting pan at a decent rate. I still think 9 products within 3 or 4 months is pretty good, considering I do have a larger collection and I am bringing in new makeup and panning other things, so I'm trying to finish other products. And to still be hitting pan on these products is very exciting for me. It makes me feel like I'm really using and getting utility out of the stuff that I purchase. So that is everything I had to share with you today. Let me know if you've hit pan on anything exciting recently. Let me know if you've ever hit surprise pan on something where you didn't think you were close to hitting pan at all and then it just kind of shows up. Let me know if you have any instances like that. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!